on a Sunday today, I would like to wish everyone eloquence, and I would love to wish everyone determination in sustaining your own very positive self for any task that is out there. I would like to encourage everyone, someone who has been living and working for over uh, 25 odd years, um, changing places in this world on planet Earth every now and then for anything that I could utilize my qualifications for, and adapting to different cultures, different countries, different demands of different businesses, being organized by different people, and being also uh, the basis for future new generations of business persons, leaders, team members, and members of the crew. What I have learned for over now 25 years of my work on locations and with the use of plentiful qualifications that I have been acquiring over the years is something I would love to give as a gift to humanity in the forms of my work, most of all written work, that I would love to release at some point next year. This year I would like to talk about love. That is, in my opinion, the most important of all factors that we human beings would love to add to our own, not only comfort zone when it comes to learning and development, but also to our own self-oriented motivation that drives us towards future progress that we would love to achieve as a group. I strongly believe that without self-love and without the ability to appreciate one's own self, we wouldn't be able to be convincing enough to convince another person that we are worth staying alive. If you think of, let's say, Auschwitz-Birkenau, one very strong example, and Zimbardo's experimental Stanford labs that gave us an enormous and exquisite amount of information and data regarding human psychology and human emotive decision-making processes. We would like to not only learn from those huge stepping stones in transformations, in progress into humanity advancements, but we would love to make another step forward with everything that we can learn about human value, consciousness that gives us power and strength to carry on no matter the circumstance and no matter the ways of disregarding the knowledge that's supposed to be taken on board when planning for future ethics, when planning for further learning and development, when planning for everything that we would love to achieve as a human species and as a human kind. Why I would like to encourage you to go through the most demanding emotionally and very strong psychologically oriented examples of human nature. I would like you to explore and research before the end of this year every single example that created human nature. for you to understand what human nature really is, what humans can create in order to push forward certain narratives and ideas and ideals in favor of learning, development, and progress in humanity. Because what we are is what we create. What we are is what we want to think of ourselves. What we are is what we give there for everyone else to follow as an example. What we are is what we agree on what we would like to be. And what we are is what we choose, what we would love to be and become in the future. So it is very important for us to know how to choose, and it is very important to understand decision-making process. It is also very important for human beings before the end of the year to learn how to go through history lessons with dignity and wisdom. It's very important for people to realize that what we teach our children and what we teach the next generation is going to echo in 10, 20, 30, 50 years of time. So that is why it is very, very important to be very responsible for words and actions in anything we do and everything we deal with. Because we can correct mistakes, we can take steps forwards to improve our ways to understand reality and create new futures and perspectives. But we will never be able to erase any fatal errors from the history. Like, for instance, the Auschwitz-Birkenau. It happened. We cannot erase that from the history, no matter what we'd love to do to cover it up. It happened. It's a fact. Stanford experiment created by Mr. Philip Zimbardo, and he's the first actually author of social psychology, Thomas Ruher, who actually created the very first book of social psychology, then later on taken over by Philip Zimbardo, is the most important of all grand, informative books of psychology that is functioning in the United States, and is the leader amongst all the leading books on the market for everyone to learn from those experiments and everyone to learn about what was created for years and years of experimentation on human nature, psychology and social psychology, for us to understand relationship buildings, for us to understand everything what we are as human species in the context of emotions, relationship building, decision making process, living in society, collaborating, communication, and so on and so forth. Those wonderful mindsets and mentalities are there as examples for other people to follow. So we have to always, every single year, try to understand and remember, is there anything that we can add before this year to the overall narrative and dialogue and conversation when it comes to human nature, when it comes to knowledge about psychology, sociology, anthropology, and so on and so forth. Of course, we add that every single year. There are millions and millions of researchers out there in the world, people who have the courage, the intellect, who have qualifications and competencies to be able to summarize, synthesize knowledge and create new ways of understanding our reality that we create and co-create. So every single year we do add more to the pile of knowledge and to the many different books that are out there in the world explaining reality and adding up to the overall brainstorming amongst us human beings. Those who are interested in understanding, those who are interested in participating in learning and development and contributing to the overall thinking and reasoning about it. Those who are interested in creating meaning and adding sense to the overall participation and co-participation in learning and development. And it's great. So every single year I think what I can add from my perspective to the overall dialogue. So I will be adding every single year, and I encourage you to do the same. Take care.